everyone, I'm Carol O'Halloran, and this is the show all about the fact that age is just a number. Over 50, so what? Now, when I'm out and about, I occasionally bump into some of the viewers, so if you see me, come and say hi. Recently, I met Edna at the Ski Expo and we had a great time taking selfies. Now, about 6 months ago, we spoke to Alan Stevens about profiling. Alan's worked with the Australian Federal Police, and today he's going to talk about some of the key things to look at in someone's face to give some insight into their personality and behaviour. And he's using me as a guinea pig. If you're new to the show, we have a great, fun, easy fitness segment after the break. Don't miss it. You'll have more energy for the rest of the day. And lastly today, we're going to have an overview of the myriad of activities you can do at a Great Getaways residential camp. You can do as little or as much as you want, and you can still make heaps of new friends. It's time to get motivated. Today we're going to take a look at another tool, profiling. We meet Alan Stevens. He's an international profiling and communications specialist. Alan is regularly seen in national TV, radio and the world press. He profiles leading politicians, TV and sports stars, even the British royalty. The Herald describes Alan as the mentalist meets Dr. Phil. Hi Alan, welcome back to Over 50 So What?
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm sure people at home are wanting to see in practice how this all works, and I did offer before we went on air for you to use me as a guinea pig so you could talk about my facial. You can't see my forehead, but yeah.
Well, that was enough. I've already got what I needed there.
I've got a lovely widow's peak there. So go for it.
Okay, well, when you just shifted your hair, then just the shape of the forehead. Some people have squarish foreheads. Yours is more arced like mine. And I'll explain some of these traits as we go so the people that are listening can actually go and have a look, because you and I have known each other for a period of time, and I could say about a lot of the traits, and you could say, oh, and people can listen to this, already knows that about Carol. But for them to be able to go and test it for themselves, where you've got the squarer forehead, and I'm talking about the turn of the forehead here, because up here will be rounded, but this section just up through the temple line on the side, those that have got the more squarish forehead, they like variety. They like to do things quickly. They like to start new projects and move on fast, then do something completely different. Those that got the more rounded here, like you and I, it's about being able to do long-term projects, to be able to do repetitive projects. Yes, we like a bit of variety, but we can handle those. But the ones with the squarish foreheads really struggle with it. We're orientated more around the family, around being around people. This is why you're such a great ambassador for people. Whereas with those that got the square, it's more about their career, their business. Then if I look at you, the shape of the eyebrows, those people where the eyebrows go up at a very striking angle, it's what I call dramatic appreciation. They have a natural ability to express themselves. Now, yours are a little bit more towards the horizontal, like mine. This is all about the aesthetic appreciation, how it feels inside. So I know that if you're working on something and you're really involved in it, the last thing I'd do is come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I need your help over here. I'd be first of all asking you, Carol, I can see what you're doing. You're very busy. You look like you're really involved in it. How much time I really need your help. How much time do you need to be able to get that to a level where you can leave it and come and help me? Would 5 or 10 minutes be okay? If you told me 10, I'd come back in 11 or 12. And I'd actually point out to you, I've given you extra time because I could see that it was really busy. But hey, if you come over and help me now with my problem, I guarantee you can get back to yours faster. Because if I dragged you over the first time, you might come over. I'll probably hear a little bit about it, but your mind wouldn't be on my project. It'd be on your project you were working on yourself. But now if I brought you, I've given you that respect, you're more likely to listen to and help me. But because I've also acknowledged it and said, hey, and also added the extra, hey, you might be able to get back to yours faster. We can get mine out of the way quickly. Do I have your support? I know that there's also a dry wit there. good sense of humor. And, all the conversations we've had, if I throw anything out, you've been very quick at being able to throw it back to me. I know that it's also about, you're adventurous. You like to try new things. And so travel and things like that are important to you. Now, the dry wit is in this the philtrum here. Those have got a very long area from the base of the nose to the top of the lip, that groove section, what we call the philtrum. The longer that is, the drier the wit the person has. The shorter it is, the more fussy they are about things. But as I say, every trait's got an upside and every trait's got a downside. Those with the short ones, they're fussy about things, the way they dress and everything else. But things have got to be very right when you present to them. But they make fantastic interior designers, people who look at something and say it's got to be done the right way. I guarantee they can walk into a room with white walls and straight away know what colour the wall should be, what furniture should be put in there, how it should be arranged. Whereas somebody like me who's got a really dry wit, I only appreciate it once it's all done. I can't see it in advance. So as I say, no right or wrong trait. Every trait has its place. The more you understand your own traits, you know what triggers you, you set your environment up so they don't trigger you.
That sounds good. I noticed that you've done some work with the Australian Federal Police and Disney.
Well, with Disney, it was Disney Films and Gillette who hired me in 2016 for their Star Wars Rogue One launch. Disney Films were using all the players to advertise their new Razor. They flew me to London to be interviewed by the world's press, 120 journalists they flew in from all over the world, to explain to them the stories the face tells before you utter a single word. Because Disney was all about, if you've got a beard, how do you groom it to change your appearance? How do you change your haircut? How do people perceive you differently? And Disney were talking about the clothing and everything else. So naturally enough, what does the face tell? So my job was for 3 hours to explain to the journalists in interviews how it works. I just spent the 3 hours profiling all of them one after another. With the Federal Police, it was some workshops on how to, first of all, understand personalities. And then secondly, to be able to recognize if somebody is telling them the truth or not. But it was mainly, the main reason, say for instance, you go undercover. It's a pretty dangerous environment to be in, because undercover, the criminals know how to read each other because that's how they survive. They have to learn from an early age. But if a policeman goes undercover, the end result is they're coming from a land of friendlies. Yes, the people around them have got guns, but they're on their side. And so now they're in a dangerous situation. So they've got to learn how to read the people they're around extremely fast.
Sounds really good. Now, if people watching today want to know more about their own profile and improve their communications with others, you've got some sort of profiling program they can get from you, is that right?
If they come to my website, they'll be able to look at some of the online courses they can do themselves. There's my master programs that I have, but there's also, they can get a profile done. And this is where when they fill the form out, it'll tell them how to take their photographs, send them through to me. I'll do that profile, do it as a full report.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks very much for the invitation.
Welcome to 5 Minute Fitness. It's time to get moving. We're going to start off with a great line. So if you haven't done it before, I'm going to break it right down. And we go. Steps behind, steps together. Step behind, step together. Step behind, step together. Step behind. Now let's try it a little bit faster. Step behind, step together. Step behind, step together. Step behind, step together. That's it. Before I get old. Step behind, step together. I don't know if you can see the cat. He's sitting there watching me. Yeah. Now hold it there. We're going to take 8 walks forwards. Let's go. Hold it we go. Tap to the side. Tap, tap, take it back. Tap. Forward. And tap, 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 and back. And tap. Now you put some arms in. Tap. Back. Forward. Before I get old. Tap. And back. Last of the taps. Now we're going to take a knee lift. Up, two, up, two, up. Before I get old. Up, up. Take the opposite hand. Now we're going to do singles. Singles. So you just do small ones like this. Let's get it up, feel more confident. Take the knees up higher. Take the arms up higher.
It's like a rising tide, like a landslide.
That's it. Looking good, feeling great. Keep going.
The way I've been going on,
Okay, hold it there.
I get old.
We're going to take the grapevine. Step behind, step, touch. Step behind, step. Speed it up. If you've been doing these routines for a while, you can go straight into the fast version. And you can keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Back to normal.
Bigger.
The present life spinning way out of control.
Okay. Step behind, step, touch.
Hurricane, it's a snap like wine, it's a wildfire.
Last set. Hold it there.
Way I've been heading now.
Guess what? We're going to walk forwards. Ready? Go.
The way I've been heading now, but I've been
Tap
get old.
and back. Tap. Forward. Before I get old. Tap. And back. Tap. Get old. We're not getting older. We're feeling younger every day. One more set. Get old. Back. Single knee lifts. And we go. Lift, 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 lift. Before I get old. 5 minutes, that's all. See you again tomorrow. Get out of the house, get into nature. Great getaways, 55 plus, zip lining, flying down, all wet and bedraggled, jumping off the wharf. Paddleboarding with the great Jay from Great Getaways, showing you how to do it in style. Well, camping, Great Getaways. We have with us today the fabulous, and guys are allowed to be fabulous, Jay Henderson. Hi Jay, great to have you on
Carol.
here.
Thanks for being with us on this great getaway.
We've been doing all sorts of activities all weekend, so it's been absolutely thrilling to see Jay in action, facilitating people and people having so much fun. Now, Jay, your philosophy to the over 50s, 55 plus, can you tell us a bit about how you structure the camps for that market?
The structure of the camps will vary from one to another, but ultimately what we want to do with a Great Getaway is have a welcoming environment where people want to come along, have fun, feel supported in whatever level of activity they want to participate in, and go away perhaps keen to actually do more at home and perhaps come on a future Great Getaway.
So if someone hasn't been on a camp before, how do you help a newcomer get into this situation?
Well, we try and support them with as much information as we can. What I'm looking forward to going forward, Carol, is the over 50 So What video segments, being able to support people. Thanks to your generosity of coming on this Great Getaway, I think we're going to have good material to share with people who are new to Great Getaways, and that'll help to answer questions like those that you've been delving into across the weekend. What do the rooms look like? Are they tents? No, most of the time they're not going to be tents.
Yes, and one of the big questions for that is, I've got a bad back, a dodgy knee, dodgy hip, a bad neck, elbow, shoulder, because everyone over 50's got something.
Yeah.
So can you just elaborate on how you deal with those physical limitations?
Yeah, sure. Research has shown that if an instructor or a leader knows what somebody's pre-existing condition is, then they can have a conversation about which parts of an activity they can cope with. We don't push anybody to do an activity if they don't feel up to it. But back to the beginning of your question, if we know what an issue is, we can actually make accommodations for people.
Well, that brings me to another question. You can look back and you can assess whether the activity is going to be suitable for you. If you haven't been camping or swimming or kayaking or climbing rocks or doing cycling since you were in your 20s, and you think, I don't know if I could do it, do I have to join and everything?
No, of course not. No, we operate under a principle called challenge by choice, and so you might come along and actually just observe and watch. And we do have people that quite happily come on a Great Getaway, as you've seen this weekend, and may not participate in a number of the different activities, but they feel part of something special by being here around meal times, social activities, low-level games and activities that just get people mixing, mingling and having a laugh, most importantly.
I've been very impressed with the number of friendships that have formed, and people who've come on their own now, they've suddenly got a bunch of friends to go to other camps with or to go out and do other things when they get home.
Yeah, and we often find that. So for people who might be challenged in travelling on their own, we've got a lot of Great Getaway campers who readily carpool. So they'll share a lift or they'll share public transport, a train or a tram.
Jay, we have people watching from all around Australia. So we've been at this one in Victoria. So where else can people go on a Great Getaway?
Good question. They can do Great Getaways in Queensland at the moment. That's a new initiative. And we're hoping to have other states pick up with Great Getaways in the future.
And you do day trips plus overnight plus 2 or 3 days?
Yeah, we do a combination. So there's a sprinkling of day trips, which might actually help people to come along, meet people, do some activities and get a sense of what it's like.
Now, this question, I don't know if you can answer. Do you know the age of the oldest person who's ever been on a Great Getaway?
I do know that Mick, who is 84, was our oldest participant last year in December, and Mick was the person who first climbed up what we call the pamper pole, leapt for a trapeze, had a swing, and then was lowered down by a safety rope. So 84, going well.
How do you feel now we're out and about and able to get out and do camps again? Tell us about how exciting this is now.
It's such a relief, isn't it? It's pretty obvious from the participants that we've had here this weekend that the time is right to leave home, come on a Great Getaway, meet folk, and get together and have fun.
All right, so someone's sitting at home, they haven't got anywhere in 2 years, they're over 55. What are you going to say to them?
Well, they don't have to be over 55 for a start. I'm not looking at their birth certificate. So we're not fussy about that. But please, have a look on the Australian Camps Association website for Great Getaways.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. I love to be in nature and to be doing things outside, physical activities, and we do all of that here. It's well organised. We just come and we meet lovely people. The organisers have got everything under control. We've got great accommodation, our own room, and food just keeps flowing. Everyone's interesting. You might see a group of people anywhere and think, I probably wouldn't have much in common with these people. But in fact you have, with everyone. Everyone has got an interesting story to tell, and to find that is quite lovely, really.
Well, it's been an inspiration seeing all these fabulous people, and you do it. This is me seeing firsthand how these camps operate, and it is absolutely spectacular. I'm just blown away with what a good job you do.
Well, thank you, and thanks for supporting the Great Getaways, Carol, and it's been wonderful to have you and your team here over this weekend.
Thanks, Jay.
Everybody's different. They've all got something to add, and it's very, very exciting to meet new people. And some people that you look at, you think, wow, they look a bit, but they're terrific people. Everybody is different, and that's what we find here. All shapes and sizes. Everybody's here. They all have a go at whatever the next activity is, and everybody, most of them do it. And some of them are really pushing the boundaries, but they see the others go, and they say, well, this is like, that's the end of the road, and so do something before you're gone. So
Can you say that again? Do something before you're gone?
Yeah, do something before you're gone.
What would you say if someone's sitting at home, Susan, and maybe they're a bit shy, they're a bit, bit hesitant about going out and meeting all these strangers and trying something like a camp? What would you say to someone like that?
I would say try to buck up the courage and come, because I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy yourself. Phil says that everyone comes and does everything, but sometimes people don't do an activity, like on the Flying Fox. It was a dual Flying Fox. It was great fun over the gorge yesterday, wonderful views, but maybe 6 people just watched. So they are participating in their way. They get enjoyment from seeing us doing it. And then some people are on the sidelines and thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. There's no pressure. There's no sort of, oh, come on, you've got to do it, to have been, it's not goal orientated like that. You can just do what you feel comfortable with. Yes, we're encouraged to do things, but not go beyond what you want to do. So don't feel that you'll be pressurized by everyone to go beyond what you want to do. You can just enjoy it as you want to enjoy it, really.
You can talk to the blokes out there.
Yeah.
So
Hey, guys.
the blokes out there that are sitting watching thinking, what would you say to them?
I would say certainly get out and meet some girls. There's lots of lovely girls here, and guys are a little bit shy, and as they get a bit older they start to creep into that little shell, and they get deeper further in, and this really brings out another person, a new person. So, and I can guarantee that their lives most of them would like it, and it's a new life and new friends.
So here we are out under the stars around the campfire toasting marshmallows with awesome people, making new friends, trying new things. So how about, guys, what do you say? Over 50? An interesting show, huh? You might be looking at people's eyebrows now and the gap between their nose and their mouth. And what about going to camp for something different? You don't even have to do any of the activities and you'll still make new friends. For information on Great Getaways or Alan Stevens profiling, go to carolohalloran.com. Connect with us on Facebook and YouTube. Over 50, so what? Please remember, if you see me out and about, come and say hi. I love meeting the viewers and hearing all your stories. Keep active, keep connected. Life's too short not to have fun. I'm Carol, over 50, so what? Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?